Yes, we've seen a lot of this push and pull of Fenrir Ratatasker. So can't be locked in. So there goes that conversation.
Oh my.
But essentially, Fenrir counters Ratatasker, who is very, very strong at the moment. So because of that, we see the Fenrir ban usually into the Ratatasker pick. The Night's Watch throwing us for a loop this time, opting for Serket.
That's an interesting first pick for me. But we'll see how valuable it ends up being in this matchup. We'll go on, and we'll find out shortly. But yeah, Giannis, you're at a Tasker locked in, so very mobile team drafted so far by the Myrmidons. But not a lot of late game presence so far.
So we'll take a look at what the Night's Watch will do right now. They'll pick the Geb. They'll pick the Geb right now. We'll see what their second pick is. And if you guys at home are wondering why the Hades was banned, it is an odd ban. But Hades, Bart, in casual play, is one of the most winningest gods. And in professional play, in the right hands, can be devastating.
He's done fairly well for himself as well, yeah, in this last split. But the last few picks, it's Freya locked in for Night's Watch, so they'll go Serket, Geb, Freya versus Giannis, Ratatasker, Dusa for now. Medusa's been an interesting pick for me over the last month or so. She's been very high priority and very low impact so far.
Yeah, she has a unique impact into the team fights, and I think that's why she's being picked. More so than some of the other hunters. She's got AoE damage, AoE stuns, if all goes well and good for her. So she can impact the fights in a number of ways that other hunters perhaps cannot.
And versus Freya, it's a pretty decent matchup, and anything that dots is, generally speaking, okay versus the Freyas and Apollos of the world, as it does give you the opportunity to maybe get some of those kills you otherwise would not be able to get. The final ban's coming through. Ares is removed by the Night's Watch. That makes quite a bit of sense going up against the Geb. Ares is a pretty good matchup there. And, of course, Isis removed by the Myrmidons, so not going to be going the way of Sio in the mid lane, as he has already drafted a Giannis. Bacchus will be their support. And on the other side, Osiris locked in, one more pick pending for the Night's Watch.
Osiris has gotten so much play recently.
Yeah. Yeah, he sure has. And this is a god that we haven't seen go down this far in the draft in some time. It's Agni with the last pick selection from Night's Watch. So they're not prioritizing their mid lane, where on the other side, obviously, Myrmidons is very highly prioritizing their mid lane. And the final pick coming their way, likely to be some kind of solo laner, and indeed it will be the Monkey King, Sun Wukong.
Sun Wukong, to me, is one of the more exciting gods to watch, especially because he's played in both regions. North America and Europe both like him, which is kind of a rarity. Usually we see gods specific to the regions outside of the sort of top-end characters, a la Serket and Giannis, etc. So Sun Wukong, making an appearance in both regions yesterday in North America, did very, very well for Awesome to the Max, despite losing his relegation match. And today, we will see how Myrmidons goes ahead and uses the Monkey King.
I would like to go into the game now. Right now. Let's take a look.
How about right now?
Ready, go. Bang! Got him. All right, let's do it. It's Night's Watch versus Myrmidons. Les Myrmidons, as you see there.
Yes, they actually, fun factoid at home, I believe they used to be all French. Now 4 out of 5 of them are French, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
They are a regional team.
So it's a bunch of Frenchies and Sio.
Yes.
A bunch of Frenchies.
Well, actually, Get Fisher as well.
Get Fisher's UK?
I believe so. Yes.
Okay, so we got a couple of Frenchies and a Brit and an Austrian.
Yes.
On the side of Les Myrmidons.
Really?
Yes.
You going for that one?
I went for it.
That's
I'm
impressive.
pretty sure I got it, too.
That's impressive. You will get the feedback.
I will. Let's find out. Let me know on Twitter how I did with the French pronunciation of Myrmidons. Okay, let's introduce your squads, guys. On the left side of your screen, bottom side of the minimap, wearing the blue trunks and fighting for their spot in the Pro League. They're known as the Night's Watch. It's going to be Game Hunter, the one and only, as your solo lane Osiris. Bobat in the jungle as Serket. Carino mid-laning Agni. The Wolf of Elo Street matching up with, well, poor Kevin, not here today. Skeb and Moex on Freya for your dual lane. Their opponents are the Myrmidons. They are the red team, top side of the minimap, right side of the spectator UI. It is Mogao. The reason that Hades was banned out, this time he'll be piloting Sun Wukong in the solo lane. Get Fisher will be your jungle rat. Sio in the mid lane is Giannis, and that leaves Germain and Dardez as your duo lane Medusa Bacchus.
And with that introduction, we'll see pretty standard starts. We'll see what is known as the Paradigm start.
Paradigm.
On the side of the Night's Watch. They'll make their way into lane, and Les Myrmidons, quite the same.
Oh, man. I think mine was better than yours, huh?
No, mine was slower, but more precise.
Yeah?
I liked it.
Oh, man.
And it made me feel very good, actually.
All right, well, happy to hear that as we move into the duo lane, and we'll start here as Wolf of Elo Street and Moex make their way in versus the Bacchus and Medusa matchup. We haven't seen much Bacchus in recent memory.
Yeah, Bacchus has become, Bacchus is very, very strong. You'll see just how interesting that knockup is. Knockups, of course, being one of the more potent CCs in Smite because they cannot be really affected by DR, which means they will always be that amount of time that you are knocked up in the air. And Bacchus does an absorbent amount of damage a la Ares. So he winds up being a flavor pick from the people that can play him well because he's been difficult to play. Up until, well, now with the changes to Chug Bard, I think the doors open a little bit different.
Yeah, Chug used to be this kind of like high skill. Oh, Sayo, he's going to get taunted, but it's going to be back towards Get Fisher. A little bit of damage coming through from the Cirque as well, but she doesn't get that final in-hand to get the percentage damage. And Carino takes a bit of poke as well as they try to turn the corner, but through the first mid-cancer, still all squared, no team pulling ahead.
Moex getting abused a little bit by this Bacchus. Looks like Myrmidons really not at all gunshot here in the duo lane. They're pushing up. They have the clear above Freya, without to say the least, and they're making use of it. Being a little aggressive. I wonder if that's where we'll see our first blood.
Yeah, Geb Freya don't have a lot of push potential in that lane versus Medusa, who pretty much can do it by herself. Then add in a Bacchus belch of the gods every once in a while to help clear it out. Yeah, so no a big surprise there that the lane advantage going their way. One thing that is a little bit different here is the amount of kind of presence that Ratataskers had in the mid lane. When we've seen him played in the LAN, he was very much a pure jungler. We didn't see like any laning out of him at all, even to Leech.
Yeah, he's just so incredibly mobile with that dash, and his ability to clear camps by himself without any help is really all there. He's got a lot of damage with those acorns, able to dash through them. Although we'll see, we've seen a different method of leveling the abilities over in Europe. A lot of the Europeans opting to level the third ability rather than the second like North Americans.
Well, as Get Fisher hits level 5, Hinduman, if you beat so kind, let's take a look at what he is indeed leveling here. It's going to be...
the 2?
Yeah, rank 2 of the 2. So... Dash going to be the primary damage source here for Ratatasker, and that, of course, means that he's likely going into the Opal Acorn, which has been very much the preferred Acorn out of the jungle.
Yeah, it's done a lot of damage, and it really allows Ratatasker to be a team fight nuisance. He just has a lot of area of effect damage, which just impacts more than one person and infuriates everyone.
Well, taking a look at the solo lane here, where Mogao is going to be falling back to his tower. No, he's not, as the size do come out. Game Hunter. You may know him as one of the only competitive LAN pentas.
Yes.
That we've seen so far. The other one's credited to Cyclone Spin.
Worth noting that it was on Vamana. So Warriors, really one of Game Hunter's... Plays a lot of Warriors.
Osiris is kind of like the Season 2 Vamana.
Yeah. Vamana has disappeared, really. His potency without sprint maybe has taken a hit.
Which is funny because we saw him played almost exclusively with Fatalis for a long time. And then players started to decide, well, Fatalis is actually just sprint, so let's buy just sprint. And now that sprint's gone bye-bye, all of a sudden Vamana is unviable, even though Fatalis exists unchanged. So I don't know that he's necessarily going to be forever out, but for now, yes. I mean, we would have said the same thing probably about Bakasura, but we saw him play twice yesterday.
Oh, Bakasura. Not one of my favorite gods, but very effective in that solo lane. Just a threat of your tower being taken in an instant by Bakasura is really enough for him to really stay relevant in that solo lane.
Well, left side mid camps looks like we're going to have a bit of contention here, but unable to go in is Bacchus. You can see that Belch of the Gods is immune to knockup, so Geb, not a tremendously good matchup versus Bacchus. Bacchus also able to blow up that rollout pretty well as long as he's able to catch it before the immunity frame, or I'm sorry, the CC frames on it. All things told, it's been a basically dead even contest here. About 100 gold separating the teams.
Yeah, right now this is all about the farm, but it looks like they might make a change. Mogao very low. That is just a decoy. So, Game Hunter, really not up for nothing.
Yeah, the real one running back to the base there. Second round of blue buffs was picked up, and the second round of buffs around the map are spawning. You can see them being picked up now by the respective teams in the jungle. Haven't seen anything yet out of the Rat, so biding his time and getting some items up. Rank 2 Acorn plus boots online. That's a lot of power now. It's the 40 from the boots, and can we hover over the rank 2 Acorn on Ratatasker, please? That's another 25 physical power, as well as your Flurry is plus 20% damage, so that's 65 plus 20% on that ability in addition to its scaling. So this is how Ratatasker starts to really be effective.
It looks like he is going to be leveling that. Well, he's having a little bit of fun. 3 points in the dash, 2 points in the Flurry of Acorns.
Yeah, so interesting, right? So he early went for those 2 points and then went back for the dash.
Right.
Huh.
Just wants to reach a certain threshold, I would assume. I'd love to have a conversation with him afterwards, because that's always very interesting to me.
Well, the dash doesn't give you the same kind of clear potential, I think, that the Flurry of Acorns does, so you need the rank 2 there just for your clear, and then I guess it's more the player choice as to whether or not he wants to level the dash. But the dash, if you think about it, is guaranteed damage, where the acorns, you know, there's a lot of counterplay that you can make after he dashes through. You can leap away, you can Aegis, you can do many, many things. So it's like a Giannis. Giannis could portal himself. Not that he's not on Ratchaster's team, but he could.
It's actually very interesting. And an interaction that you guys can take at home. Giannis portal is technically a banish.
Yeah.
You can jump into the enemy Giannis portal to avoid an Ares pull.
Which is
very fun.
But you end up taking probably more damage from the Giannis portal, just not the CC.
But you don't get pulled and instantly killed.
That's true.
So if you forget your beads, but Ares was banned out. We'll take a look right here as we visit the mid lane. And again, we see so much of the junglers hanging out in mid lane. This has become really what to expect when you're watching this Season 2.
Yeah, a lot of almost, and even in LAN, we saw some like kind of pseudo four-man mid strats.
Right.
Which was pretty strange. I mean, that kind of like that mid game. Like, let's just control the center of the map. Oh, and this may be our first blood. Carino, he's dropping bombs. Cataclysm used to stop the rat as well. Dashing away now is Carino. Belly flop. Not going to make it, but Intoxicate will. First blood credited to Dardez on the side of Myrmidons. First blood at 7 minutes.
Dardez showing his aggression right there. Very, very calculated, though. Knew absolutely that the incredible damage of Intoxicate would go ahead and take that sliver of life away from Agni. But it is just the confidence.
More of a positional kill there for him, you know, really spotting out the kill coming, making the rotation at the right time, and it was very simple to kind of execute that. The dash can get blown up by the leap, and then a quick Intoxicate to seal the deal. And the first advantage of the game, however small it may be, is going to go the way of the Myrmidons.
So we'll take a look at the graphs, and with that first blood, that's going to give 1,100 gold on the way of the red team. Not too much, but it's a start. When we're barely 8 minutes in, that 1,000 gold is relative. So that 1,000 gold right now means a lot more than it would at, say, 15 minutes.
Yeah, no doubt. And coming up on about 2,000 experience as well, that mostly due to the kill and a little bit of extra camp pressure they were able to get with the 4v5 power play as we do pass that 8-minute mark. It's still 1-0 for the Myrmidons here. This is game number 1 if you're just joining us of the European Relegations. These are best of 5s, and there's 2 sets today. So game 1, set 1 underway.
Yes, we're watching the Night's Watch versus Le Myrmidons, and later on we will be visiting Septum 7 as they attempt to take the SPL spot away from Upcoming Stars, who has a new lineup. So make sure you stay tuned to the end of this one and check out the new lineup for Upcoming Stars. Or, of course, I guess you could just look on Twitter.
Sion a bit of trouble here in the mid lane. Serket's going to hit. Ultimate available, and yes, ouch, down he will go. And it actually, the poison popped instantly there. Also onto the Bacchus. Ratatasker ultimate was expended to try to make it to the mid lane and bail out, but the return kill happens nonetheless from the watch.
And so right there, I guess that's really one of the... We talked about the positives of Bacchus before, Bart. I think that really accentuates the negatives of Bacchus. Whereas
he doesn't have Geb Shield?
Exactly. I mean, he doesn't have... well, getting to that point, he doesn't have Geb Shield. Yeah. He doesn't have Sylvanas Root. He doesn't have Sobek Pluck. He doesn't have Peel in general.
Well, he doesn't have any instant anything, right? Everything that Bacchus does is either travel time from the leap, channel time on the burp, Intoxicate being the only ability, and that's not really a true CC. It won't stop any other channeled abilities. Won't do something like, say, save Agni.
So when you're playing alongside with a Bacchus, you have to be a little bit more careful. Even Ares, you have to play similar to how you play with an Ares. You're not going to expect a peel, per se. You're going to expect a...
damage.
Yeah, just the deterrent. Don't attack us, not because I can stop you, but because I can kill you. So when you're being aggressed on, Bacchus has the short end of the stick for sure.
Cyrus pumping out 4k player damage in this Wukong, about 900 ahead. Hasn't translated into an experience advantage yet, so credit to Mogao. Even though he's taken the DPS, he's been okay, but now he's going to run into the Game Hunter. That damn cudgel. Hate that thing.
It's really difficult to hit.
I hate that ability. Makes me sad. Oh, okay. All right.
Ultimate onto Mogao.
But it's Sun Wukong, right? You know, he's still over 50% HP, but the second that he gets down to about that 35%, he gets all his bonus protections, and Rat not going to be effective enough to prevent Osiris from playing aggressively, and Serket doesn't really have much kill potential versus the Sun Wukong. So we're looking at what appears to be a long and extended slap fight between the two solo laners.
Yeah, Sun Wukong, I mean, we saw just how potent he was yesterday, being piloted by Awesome to the max primarily, but a couple of people played him and just able to stay...
Serket blinks forward, looking for the play, but ends up taking quite a bit of damage in return. Looks like she had to walk through the full path of flames there.
Giannis a little gun shy as well, uses the defensive portal. Sun Wukong ultimate is down. Got caught in the jungle by Agni, so a lot of damage onto the warrior right there. But that's exactly what he does. He is just able to live. Yeah, he's got a free life button, right? So because of that, it's just going to be difficult to kill him in the early game, which will cause trouble late game.
Osiris going to dive yet again here. He's going to find the stun, find the damage. Remember that ultimate is down for Wukong. Game Hunter can't deal with the aggro, though. He may go in again. We're going to see a Spirit Flail attempt at least to stop the back there. Let's check it over here in the mid lane, where looks like Dardez is going to help the Rat jungle. Oh, no, it's the invade. Okay, I get it in, man. I see where you're going.
And with that, Night's Watch will show up just a little bit too late. Rat will pick up the speed buff on the side of the enemy. And actually, so that's really your window, Bart. We talk about the solo lane. When you know that Sun Wukong, if you're watching at home, you'll see the Sun Wukong ultimate down. That's when you'll see Game Hunter really go in. You're going to see him use the ultimate just for fun, burn a lot of his abilities, but not really chase too hard. When the Sun Wukong ultimate is down, that's a guaranteed kill if he can get in there, and you'll see the gas pedal really hit the floor.
No, guaranteed is relative, I think.
Yes.
there's always still the animals to help bail yourself out there. Sun Wukong, very, very elusive. Hard to kill, hard to lock down. And in many cases, not worth locking down. That's really the strength of this character, is that he doesn't really do anything in particular that's like worth killing. He's also very hard to kill.
Right.
And so he also often kind of gets lost in the team fights and ends up doing, 4,000 or 5,000 damage to your backline. And your poor hunter is crying about the Monkey King, and you're like, but he doesn't do anything. Like, I'm Osiris. He just kind of tickles me. What do you mean?
I have called this character a distraction many times, and it's not just Zelia. Multiple players have just top player damage with him. He just sits in the middle of everything, pumping Mystical Mail out, swinging the cudgel multiple ways, and pumping out so much damage.
Yeah, we saw notably Divios play this character to great effect as a disruptor in the, not this land, but the last land.
In the spring finals?
The spring finals, not the summer finals, yes.
Right. And that is why Sun Wukong has the team solo mid skin.
That's true.
One of our many esports skins that you can find in the client itself.
Oh, it's also on sale?
Yeah, not any longer.
No? No longer on sale.
No longer.
Get wrecked. Well, they're still on sale. They're just not on sale. You can still buy them, but they're not cheap.
Well.
Oh, hey. In case you want to learn how to change your background.
Just looking at the windows. No big deal.
Now you know. So,
wonderful.
A ponderously paced game here, F. And usually, this is not uncommon when you see two teams that, one, haven't played each other ever.
Right.
Maybe with the exception of scrims. And both are fighting for something that's pretty important. Very little willingness to make or take risks.
That's the second one. That's the one that I want to attack. I think we really see this type of calculated play when a lot is on the line. Even when it comes to lands, and we see high profile teams like Cloud9 take on high profile teams like Fnatic. We see this calculated play come out.
Yeah, it's like, in that first game, it's like there's a metronome going off that says, don't throw. And it's just like, don't throw, don't throw, don't throw, don't throw. And that's like all the players are thinking about is like, all right, let's not lose the game. Let's not lose, let's not throw this one. Let's not give them the easy win. Let's make them work for it. And, well, the tenure and the player names and all of the kind of experience is to the credit of the Night's Watch, but the Myrmidons, I say experience, but I recognize almost all of these names with the exception of the dual lane, Dardez and Germain, as long time either kind of right out tier 3 players or in the case of Sayo, a tier 1, once a tier 1 player. Very, very strong squad also, and you can tell, they're really taking it to the Night's Watch here. They still hold that gold lead.
Yeah, I mean, they've been keeping up the whole time, which is very important. I know DM Brandon is very excited at home. Before any of the kills, the teams are separated by 25 gold, which means all of the little ins and outs of the jungle and maximizing efficiency was done correctly by both of these teams, a la the speedrunners. So
this is what you see often from teams like Myrmidons, is when they find these moderate leads, these 1,000 gold, 2,000 gold leads in the early game, that it just erodes due to kind of superior farm from the more tenured team, and that's not been the case so far for Myrmidons.
Yeah, that's gonna be a big stick in their jungle. Because of that, they're able to just keep up, which is essentially the game that the Night's Watch is trying to play. From the backside, Get Fisher trying to make something happen, gets Cobra kissed into a couple of Agni Bombs, and he's going to go ahead and beads. That'll be important. Chiket gets away.
Okay, knockup's going to hit. Geb Shield not going to prevent that knockup. One of the last balance changes that came to Geb before he was ultimately kind of settled was that his shield no longer provides knockup immunity because, LOL, that was hilarious.
Sobek.
Yeah, because no one likes Sobek and Bacchus.
Yeah, I mean, you just couldn't play Sobek when that was the case.
To be fair, you really still can't play Sobek with Geb. I mean, it's not like all of a sudden it's not like your charge prey works, right? You can still shield that because you can still the CC portion of it, which prevents it from throwing you. But I guess tail whip becomes a little bit more valuable.
But have you ever seen Sobek's idle animation?
Yeah, where he does like the
he gets real, like close to the ground.
Yeah.
I just reenacted it.
He did, yeah, he did it in studio, guys.
I'm very happy the cameras weren't on me. I mean, he just sort of like bends down and gets close to the ground. It's really clever.
Wow. This is the, for all of you American viewers, this is the equivalent of a pitcher's duel here in game number 1 of this best of 5.
Who's the pitcher?
Oh, that's a good question. Well, it's get pitcher versus...
Stop. I mean, honestly, are we looking at... Because at some point, basically... somebody's going to come online.
Well, you know.
Is it going to be the mid laners?
I got to go with Kevin here. It's Sweet Baby Mox versus Sayo, I think. I think it's going to be the tale of the Freya versus the Giannis. How much impact can the Giannis have, and how much care potential will the Freya have versus the Rat?
Yeah. I think that just might be it. Corinne will be able to control a lot of things out of that Agni, and we'll see Game Hunter play the Osiris, but I think the Freya will have
Corinne's gotten pressured a lot in this game and hasn't really got much farm under his belt either.
Talking about pressure, Game Hunter. Chased out under his tier 2.
Stupid decoy.
By a decoy.
Yeah. Yeah, so Carino, he's about a level behind the Giannis. Giannis does have a death. Both of them have a death to their credit, but with the cooldown reduction build on Giannis, he'll be able to get active a bit earlier. Agni is still very, very, I guess, restricted by his ultimate cooldown. Knock up on the Bobat. Can they get the burst as well? No, the stun comes through from Carino. Nicely played to bail out his jungler. And Sayo's ult just off the mark there. Dusa, she wants to make a play, but activates her steroid, unable to get much cooking there. And it will remain 1-1.
Freya did not rotate, so that's going to be a big deal. Medusa finds herself in the mid lane. Freya in the long lane.
Jermaine has a 2-level advantage already, even with that rotation. Wow, what happened?
Interesting. I mean, even taking a look at the slash line, they're both 0-0-0. 1,000 gold. Freya's senior. 2 levels, as you said, is this Medusa. Yeah. Where did Freya miss?
Mox must have just got outboxed a couple times there and forced back. I mean, that's the only explanation for how you get behind 2 levels. But no, let's shout out to Game Hunter, dude. Look at him. Chin size, 3rd item. He wants to fight on this Osiris, and I love it.
Yes, he does want to fight on this Osiris. I mean, the chin size... So the chin size is an item that has come and gone throughout the metas. It was very expensive and not worth the money. Now it has reduced... It's reduced in power a little bit, but because of that, the price has gone down as well, which makes it a little more attractive. So chainsaw characters like Osiris or Kalima are more apt to pick it up. But
also
we usually see it later.
Game Hunter thinks this game's going late, buying an item like chin size.
I think a lot of people think this game is going late.
Considering that it's been 19 minutes and we've had 2 kills, I think that's a safe bet.
Yes.
Or it could all just fall apart any instant. You know, that's kind of... sometimes the way these go.
The old throw out the fire giant?
Yeah, the old fire giant throw.
The SK Gaming Special.
Shout out to Sayo, part of that roster.
Yes,
part of the original throw roster. Here we go. Gold Fury not going to be started up, in fact, actually.
Just looked at.
You know, our first opportunity for maybe a team fight falls to the wayside.
I'm telling you right now, the suspense, when we do have a team fight part, I will be excited.
You're just going to scream the entire time?
You won't.
No, I won't. You're right.
Why not?
I'm not just going to go, bah! The whole time.
Why not?
Okay, I will.
Do it.
You got to do the play-by-play, though.
I'll do it.
I'll be your background screaming.
Sounds good. I'm very excited as we're 19 and a half minutes into this game.
I literally can't wait.
1-1. I mean, that's what we're going to wait at home for, right? Now we've got something to hope for. We've got the excitement of the first team fight.
Wolf of Elo Street, knock up, taking the damage from the Rat as well. Agni Bomb's not doing much versus the Geb Shield. Fight continues on the backside. Medusa ultimate use. It's going to find 2. Will they get the kill here? They will. No, they will not. Wolf of Elo Street, the shell plus Cataclysm is there, but Sayo with that Book of Toph and all that damage finds himself another kill and the 3rd kill of the game just before the 20-minute mark.
All right, that one didn't count.
That wasn't a team fight.
That was a
skirmish.
Yeah, it was a couple of picks here and there. It was actually interesting. It was a pick that turned into we have to turn this around from the enemy team.
They still lose Elo Street.
Geb has been the target a lot.
Yep.
Why?
You know, I don't know. Honestly,
I think that's going to be a problem going into the late game if Myrmidons keep focusing. Sure, they did get a kill out of it. They did wind up taking out Geb, but if they do keep focusing the tankier characters to support characters, it's just not going to wind up well, especially as these characters get more and more tanky as the items come online later and later in the game. So Myrmidons, a lot of good names, a lot of good mechanics, but the target selection has been a little questionable.
Tanks are usually pretty easy to kill in the early stage of the game before they get their 2 main defensive items online. They don't have a lot of mobility, yada, yada, yada. But, you know, I think you're right in the fact there that it may be a little bit of the hangover from last split where the Hog was so important, killing that Guardian would open up the map in a really big way. I think, yeah, like I said, maybe it's just a bit of hangover from that.
Yeah, and I mean, not for nothing. I think you yada, yada, yada past the best part. Geb has the shield, Geb has the rollout, Geb has a knockup, and a stun. Not an easy target. Not an Ares.
Here we go. The chain lightning coming out. Moex forced to the sky. Can this get converted? Medusa ultimate, one more in hand going to be needed. No, not going to lacerate forward to try for that kill.
Oh, not quite. Sayo tries to pull out the ACOG scope. Puts it away, misses by a hair.
Is he going to go through again?
No.
Oh, yes. Yeah, he is. He's feeling himself. Look at a bit of chip going as well, and right back through the portal he goes. Agni going to try to rotate over and make something out of this Gold Fury attempt from the Myrmidons, but he just eats a big damage burst from Giannis. Gets a bit in return, but it's not enough. Myrmidons take the first Gold Fury of the game at 22 minutes, and hey, they're putting the screws to the Night's Watch.
So we take a look at how that Agni went ahead and did what he did right before. We'll summarize 4,100 gold. Myrmidons, the challenger team, looking pretty good against the Night's Watch, trying to take this SPL ticket away from the blue team. But so Carino spends 2 Agni bombs on harass of Sayo, who has the benefit of a Geb shield, when these days mages are the new Hawk. I think had he used his ultimates more on the target of the Gold Fury itself,
had a chance.
Might have had a chance.
Yeah,
it's no longer
does a lot of bursts.
I mean, he does a ton of bursts. He's got those 3. He doesn't have the straight burst ultimate like a Poseidon Kraken, but if you put those bombs together, the damage adds up.
Yeah, the AoE stun plus the second bomb.
Yep.
Sometimes is enough.
And if you have a third, even more so.
Yes. Often is enough. I'll say it with 3 bombs. But Sayo. Let's talk about Sayo. Looking pretty good, huh?
Yeah, so Sayo, we've mentioned him a number of times, but so Sayo has a long history here in the SPL. He played, as we mentioned, on SK Gaming many, many moons ago, but I think what the majority of SMITE fans will remember him on is the Mortality roster. He played in the solo lane.
Mid lane and solo lane for that team.
He played in the mid lane, which is really where he excels, as we see him in his natural position right now, playing on Giannis. Played a little bit in the solo lane, and it wasn't his best chapter.
That was Fexes that he swapped with, is that right?
Yes.
Fexes went to the mid lane and he went, yeah.
Who actually will be playing for upcoming Stars.
Fexes will be playing later today.
Yep, so, so Sayo, very, very potent in the mid lane, largely considered at his height to be the best ISIS player of all time.
Yeah, Red Pod ISIS.
Yep. Very, very strong. The ability just to be able to use those open-ended combos really work to his benefit. So a character like Giannis, where you can be a little creative, definitely in his wheelhouse. Very exciting to see Sayo back on the battlefield.
Shield of the Underworld selected for Dardez on the Bacchus. I wonder why. Why this over, say, a Weakening Curse?
Well, I guess he just figures, he looks at the attention that his team, the Myrmidons, are particularly paying to the support, perhaps assumes that it will be divvied back to him likewise. So thinking he's going to be the target of the opponent, pops open the shield.
I guess, yeah, I guess the anti-life steal is good against the Freya, who relies pretty heavily on life steal.
That's a good point.
Maybe, you know, the Agni bombs, if he's firing off a few and he's able to see it in time, he can kind of pop that shield of the Underworld and get some nice return damage out of that.
Trying to get the Cobra's Kiss. Shell is popped. That's going to be a great look for the Night's Watch. Over the top comes the bombs. Not going to do enough damage. Great stun coming out from Geb.
Actually able to make it to the back line and pick up a kill there is Mogao. Down goes Game Hunter. Mogao getting a double, actually, as Wolf of Eloshi falls as well. Moex trying to push back the team all by his lonesome, but not before they drop 2. It's now 2-4 for the Myrmidons as they continue to pull ahead of Night's Watch to the tune of 5,000 gold, 8,000 experience, and now a tier 1. It's going to bring that one right on up to about 6K. Preemptive beads from Moex, but he's going to get stunned by the Belch. No, he goes up into the sky. Is the dot enough? It is not. Trying to do the damage out on Adusa as Bobat's in quite a bit of trouble. Rat pushing forward. Rat not finding much. Tier 2 going to dissuade them, but getting quite low once again are the Night's Watch, and that's more time off the map that they cannot farm.
And your challenger team looking very, very good. Don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, in North America, we have a new SPL team. Rival took down Enemy. So the precedent is there. These challengers are not bad teams, and they can definitely make it into the SPL. And judging from this match, 6,000 gold in the lead, an objective.
Oh no, Bobat, please. Okay, no, it's not going to die to minions. It was close though. Yeah, but interestingly enough for the rivals, I would suspect that this team may end up becoming Enemy.
Yes?
Well, Clarky, the CEO of Enemy, was tweeting last night about big upcoming plans for SMITE. So one can only assume that there's not a lot of teams available in the North American region.
Right.
But one new team just entered, so maybe the rivals soon to become Enemy.
We'll see how that story unfolds.
I hope so. That would be great.
Enemy to rival to enemy.
Yeah. Enemy's rival becomes enemy.
Too much. Too much.
That was just enough. Just perfect enough.
Actually, factoid.
Okay.
I think Clerky dates a girl from Long Island.
Great. Thanks, Tom. Tom at the weather desk, everyone. We'll check back in with him to see what the weather's like in Barbados later today.
Also, Matt Yankee from Long Island. He's on Rival.
Heaps of garbage, also from Long Island.
No, that's Staten Island. Taking a look here. We'll see how the Nice Watch start to group up. They're getting this is their core. Their mid, their jungle, and their support looking to make something happen.
Just make anything happen. Nice Watch have had like just no pressure around this map. It's been pretty much a Myrmidons game. They've really forced every engagement. There was that one early pick from the Night's Watch, but they seem a little bit out of sorts. And man, Bobat, get it going, buddy. The Cirquette's been okay. She's got the one kill. She's forced a bit of pressure here and there, but it's mostly been running away.
Get Fisher trying to make something happen. Cirquette wants to turn it around, opts not to, and instead, it's all a ruse. Myrmidons is here, taking out the second Gold Fury of the game. Night's Watch wants to turn it around. Sayo trying to make things happen. Shell pop perhaps a little too early, but it doesn't matter. Carreño takes down one. Myrmidons get the Gold Fury, but they do lose Jermaine, their hunter, in the process.
Ah, he's level 20.
He's level 20.
They'll take that trade. That's no problem. He doesn't lose out on any experience. He'll lose a bit of gold, but he'll recoup all of that through that Gold Fury bounty. He's already pretty deep into his item progression. And okay, the Night's Watch, they're going to go, there's a reason that we were a pro-level team and try to sneak a Fire Giant here, but Dardez is there. He needs to get basically banished out into a taunt by Cirquette to stop this. No, they're going to actually pull off the Fire Giant, trying to make the plays. Dashing through is Get Fisher. Dashing through again is Get Fisher. Getting quite low now. The last bomb not going to make it, but Game Hunter comes with the Lord of the Afterlife and finds that kill. Pushed completely off the mark now are the Myrmidons. Sayo trying to make some plays on the backside, but he's going to need Agumon. No, it's a great Aegis. Doesn't matter. Knockup is there. And all of a sudden, we were calling for them to get active in the Night's Watch. Well, they do it, and they find 3 kills and potentially going to go in and start this Fire Giant up again. Looks like they're having a bit of back and forth on whether or not they want to do it.
Just a little bit too low.
No, they want to bait the team back in. Mogal forced up into that Sun Wukong ultimate, and yet another W for the Night's Watches. That will be down for 90 seconds.
And that could be the Fire Giant Pockets. Does not have Intoxicate up just yet, and because of that, his major threat on the objective is largely gone. Either way, the Night's Watch just a little bit too low to attempt it. They'll go right to the mid lane and take out the tower for free, basically.
Yeah, it's a free tier 1. They could even rotate left and try to pressure that tier 1 on the left side as well. But no, it'll be the tier 2, in fact. So getting a little, feeling themselves a bit here. And yeah, they'll be pushed right off of that by the Myrmidons.
Instantly. And they show Myrmidons to respect. It's very interesting. A lot of times in the relegations, we see these pro teams sort of take the larger steps because, well, it's just a Challenger Cup team. But Myrmidons has proven just in the first 29 minutes of this best of 5, painstakingly slowly, but they have proven that they are a team to be watched.
Yeah, you better not count them out here, as they've given the Night's Watch now a run for their money. Even with the kills being resolved back in favor of the Night's Watch, still the gold advantage and experience advantage heavily in favor of the Myrmidons.
5,700 on the side of the Challengers with gold, 8,300 on the side of the Myrmidons with experience as well. Bacchus versus Agni gets a good stun. Here comes Geb. Make sure nothing will happen. Sayo just a couple of steps behind, unfortunately unable to make that unstable vortex connect. There's a blink Cobra's Kiss. Just misses. Great moves by Jermaine.
Well, 30 minutes now elapsed in this game. No Fire Giants picked up just yet. Just the 2 Gold Furies.
29-48, actually.
Going to the way of the Myrmidons here. Well, Fire Giant seems to be the place to fight yet again. No, just counter warning.
I mean, not even. You have the ward underneath the Fire Giant's feet, if I'm not mistaken. Nope, that's just his sword. So it's the single ward that we have there put out by, I believe, the Night's Watch. Nope, that's going to be Myrmidon's vision on that objective.
So where is Moex?
Not turning up.
Moex.
He's level 20.
Come on, bud.
I mean, so this is far past the power spike that we see at a Freya.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, where is... I mean, Freya's good 6 slotted when everyone's maxed out, but Freya's really good when she has Demonic Grip plus 1 damage item. And nothing cooking here. And, well, welcome to Resident Sleeper EU, where it's 9 kills in 31 minutes.
Mogao just getting knocked around just a little bit by the Game Hunter himself. Does he have a blink onto the Sun Wukong? No, not worth it, says Wolf of Elo Street. Will turn right around and look back towards the Fire Giant. Can't leave it broken for too long. There's the Banish. Starting to get the damage onto the Rat, but...
Pumping the gumballs.
No blink.
Okay, here we go. Oh, no, just off the mark there, actually, was Dardes trying to blow up the leap. And now it's Get Fisher in a lot of trouble. Is that poison going to take him down? No,
just
so
barely.
Very close. So is Game Hunter the Jon Snow of the Night's Watch?
Is that a comic book?
No. That's just a question.
Jon Snow? It's pretty hot. It's the summer.
That was a question, not a comic book. I'm standing by that. That's all I got for you.
It would be a great comic book. Is Mogao the Jon Snow?
No. Game Hunter.
It's Game Hunter?
Game Hunter.
Well, all right, summarize to me real quick what the hell Jon Snow does. I mean, is he the one that kills everyone?
Yes.
Well, it might be. He's got the Judgment Tether out. Going to get 2 no stuns. Just decrease the damage. Banish will be completely off the mark. Looking at 2 separate fights right now. Rhea knocked up in the air. Here comes
in a lot of trouble.
Shell is good.
Acorns come through. Not enough. The Shell doing quite a bit there. Now, up into the sky goes the Rat, and away he bounces on Yggdrasil, the World Tree. Game Hunter leaps out of there as well. Up in the sky is Mogao. Mogao over the top, and the Frenchies looking pretty good here. They got great positioning for this Fire Giant, at least to force Night's Watch in to contest it. And, well, if they can, chip away at them with a couple unstable vortexes and maybe a couple belches or whatnot, they can get some nice damage done in there. Yeah, exactly what we're talking about.
The Intoxicate is very, very strong for taking out the objectives. I think that's something that, as we get into the Hogless meta more and more, I think players might notice. I don't think that Geb and Sylvanas are going to go anywhere, Bart. But I think that Bacchus has taken a step up in viability because of his high damage ultimate.
Yeah, the burst is nice versus those objectives. I think so. I think that's a fair assessment. But,
thanks, bud.
You're welcome. You get a gold star for the day.
Agni Bomb's taking out Get Fisher almost completely.
Uh-oh.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's late game, and Game Hunter shows up and crushes the rodent.
Yeah, they got the Banish as well, and Sun Wukong. And remember, his ultimate was used in the last fight. That doesn't matter because it's Sun Wukong.
And it's up, but it's down now. Cobra's Kiss used to take out the decoy. That decoy will die when it either runs out of time, actually loses its HP bar, or a hard CC like the Geb Cataclysm will stun too.
Okay, here we go. They're going to try to dump onto Dardes here.
That's death.
The Banish was nicely placed, and the timing on that bomb from Carino was just spot on. Night's Watch, showing why they were once a professional level team.
I love the...
Okay, all right, Bobat. All right, Bobat. Let's go. Needs the in-hand, doesn't get it, gets destroyed. Ouch.
Not quite.
Took that one on the ego.
Jermaine
doing it.
Jermaine.
Reminds me of Flight of the Conchords.
That's exactly what I was going for.
Yeah.
That's why I put on that faux accent.
I thought so. I thought maybe that was the case, but
the
now...
hippopotamus?
Your boy Jermaine
not
does
quite
not have
there.
flows that glow like phosphorus.
No.
Down he goes.
Game Hunter takes him out one more time, and we're starting to see this Osiris come online is the wrong term, because he's been online as far as numbers are concerned, but we're starting to see Osiris make the impact that he's supposed to late game, and that his pilot, Game Hunter, is expected to do. 3-1-1 for the solo lane warrior, and I expect to see that kill count go way up as Game Hunter sort of makes his mark on this game.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, if you are just joining us, we're 34 minutes into our first game of the first set for today. There'll be 2 best-of-5 sets.
Oh.
And, yikes, Sayo got erased there as the Night's Watch. Still down in gold and experience, but have definitely had the momentum so far for about the last 10 minutes of this game.
Momentum, to say the least. I mean, so Myrmidons are actually controlling it very, very early on, and despite still holding the lead, as Bart said, the momentum has swung in the other direction. The Night's Watch with a couple of objectives, a couple of basics, and a couple of kills. So the wind is in their sails very much so. But as far as the numbers are concerned, all the Myrmidons have to do is look at the graphs to comfort themselves. They are still very much in the lead. 5,000 gold these days is a large portion.
Yeah, that'll do it. And let's take a look actually at Circuit build here. Going for the Deathbringer right into Malice.
Ooh.
Yeah, so very, very aggressive. Normally we'll see a... either a Magi's Blessing in that 5th slot.
Right.
Maybe your penetration item as well. Jotun's Wrath already done, but maybe a Titan's Bane, which you see being worked on as well. But no, it'll be double crit into a little more pen. So Bobat definitely has some serious kill potential now with his itemization.
Important to realize when you're looking at the Circuit build, the Malice is not about the passive. The passive is nice. The passive is interesting. But It's more about the heightened level of crit in general. Having that Deathbane crit 3 times instead of once is death for a lot of these characters.
Yeah, indeed.
It's the bane of a lot of these characters.
Well done.
Thanks, man.
So, yeah, one thing I want to talk about here is Carino. I said earlier on in the game that maybe it would be the Moex versus Sayo game, but really Carino has been the impact player for Nox, I think, in this contest.
Yeah, I mean, he's really showing the power of Agni. Sure, he's got the burst damage, but those stuns have set up so much for his team, the Night's Watch, to take advantage of. Between that and, you know, we sort of talked about how Moex wasn't doing it. The banishes.
The banishes have been spot on, and that's demonstrated there with the 6 assists on the side of the Freya, but 7 assists apiece onto Agni and Geb. Night's Watch roaming together. Those who roam together stay together.
Looking for the Lone Hunter Germain. Playing it safe.
Oh, Dardez. He's going to banish out. They'll find the CC as well. The Agni Bomb is there. Do they have the burst?
Half-life.
Yes, they do. Okay, so that's an important kill on the Dardez now. That gives them a lot of opportunity to pressure the Fire Giant here, and maybe not try to take it, but definitely force them to not go back and stop Game Hunter, who we just checked in on, taking on the Tier 1 on the left side, and he'll continue on.
He is pinged out, so the Myrmidons do know that he's going on the left-hand side, but there's just too much attention that needs to be paid to the Fire Giant. Excuse me. We'll take a look at the long lane. Moga has made the transition, but the 3 main damage dealers of the Myrmidon squad, the Hunter, the Rat, and Sayo on Giannis will be still by the Fire Giant.
Yeah, but the cudgel bonus damage on minions, yada yada yada, Sun Wukong, he'll be able to keep Osiris from pushing, if not giving not really any kill potential there.
Exactly.
But yeah, he'll slow the push out, and I think that Nox could have maybe gotten a little bit more out of that than they got. But they'll content themselves with a Tier 1.
Actually, here's a question for you.
Okay.
Why is the Night's Watch shortened to Nox? Is that further down the reference hole that I don't understand?
No. That's just
them team?
What they did.
All right.
No idea.
Because I am...
My guess is it's some kind of, like, Nox night thing, right? Like Nox is night, Nyx, Nox.
I suppose.
Nighttime, watch. I don't know.
Good CC on the Game Hunter.
How are you going to get out of this one, bud?
Well, he's going to flip.
He's going to need... Oh, my. Okay, he's going to fight instead, actually.
That is probably not the best route to go.
Well, I think he realized he was dead anyway, and his team was going to start the Fire Giant, so might as well waste the time. You can see Myrmidons trying to make their way over there, and I think they just got baited. They did indeed. Fire Giant to fall. The Night's Watch. They've just taken that one away from the Myrmidons there. They just got, I mean, that's just
allow me to retcon my cast. That was the right decision. Wasting time in the left-hand lane made Myrmidons not pay attention to the Fire Giant. Because of that, Night's Watch goes ahead and picks up the objective virtually for, well, not even virtually, for free.
Yeah, for free. That's tough. I mean, that's just that's an experience play right there. Myrmidons, they kind of baited themselves. The Giannis rotation over there, the minute Night's Watch saw that, they went right into that Fire Giant, and it was easy.
This might be the catalyst that the Night's Watch need to really cement this game home. I know.
Can they take these structures now, though?
Yeah, Myrmidon's still in the lead, but Night's Watch with the Fire Giant can definitely knock down these structures very simply. I would not be the least bit surprised if this was all they needed to really hit the gas.
I can't wait until that new Soul Eater is in the game.
What are the final stats on that?
Really, really good.
Oh, this just in. Nox is Latin for night.
That's what I was saying. Nox means night.
Yeah.
Like Nyx in Greek.
Yeah, but I said it was... I said it was Latin. I gave the spelling bee definition. You just sort of mumbled words.
That's true.
So
that's what I do.
That's the analyst for you.
That's how I do.
What we do.
Agni, very, very close to the optimal damage build here. Working on his Rada Tahuti. Needs to sell off that old Vampiric Shroud eventually here and make his way into an Obsidian Shard likely. I guess he could go for the cooldown and then into the Rada Tahuti later if he so chose. But with plenty of penny of damage and a bit of lifesteal as well. Carino has definitely, once again to reiterate, been the impact player here for the Nox.
So much setup potential in addition to the damage that he's been able to dish out. And that's really what you want out of your Agni player. I really want to make use of those noxious fumes.
Well,
There's got to be something there.
Myrmidons pinned back. 4-man farming. Buffs on the left side. Just not where you want to be.
Especially when you had the gold lead. You still have the gold lead.
Still have the gold lead, just don't have the confidence I get. I mean, they don't feel like they have the momentum right now, and they're farming their jungle. You know, even though they're level 20 and mostly 6-slotted, they're not getting much out of this. just don't really have anything to do. They're kind of forced to wait until until Nox pushes into them with this Fire Giant buff. If they lose a single member, the game could just end.
Yeah, without a doubt. I mean, looking at where we're at right now, just 3,000 gold separating the teams. The Fire Giant buff will essentially cover up that deficit.
Oh yeah.
So.
Yeah, over more so than the deficit there. I mean,
yeah.
there's not much that's going on with that gold. I mean, every player on the field is 5 or 6 slotted at this point. Not much more you can do. You're sort of replacing items, basically. Bobat, gonna try to be playing the Sio. Sio does eat the poison, but gets through the portal nonetheless and walks away. Tier 2 on the left does fall. Tier 2 in the mid. Now it'll be targeted by Wolf of Elo Street and the rest of the squad. They're gonna pump in the damage. Moex able to shoot through this tower. Maybe not as fast as a Hunter, but still doing his thing fairly well. And away they go to the right side now, where they'll join their solo laner Game Hunter to take out the final Tier 2.
Doing it by himself. We'll take a look at how fast he can take this one down relatively quickly. His teammates come and join him. So they're going to take out all the towers now. 0 towers remain for the Myrmidons. The Night's Watch still has 2 in their wheelhouse. And we'll take a look as the Night's Watch barrel down this right-hand lane. Very calculated, very slowly.
40 more seconds of Fire Giant buff here.
For everyone but Game Hunter.
So are they going to try to make the play? Yeah, Game Hunter doesn't have it, as you mentioned there. Are they going to initiate in? Wolf of Elo Street does have that blink. Looking at the Geb. Game Hunter chasing away the Giannis and going to actually split push over on the left side here. So you can definitely see where Game Hunter fits into this lineup. All by himself, farming a lane. And,
no surprise there. That's really been Game Hunter's style for a long, long time.
Okay, here we go. They've caught Wolf of Elo Street out with the Giannis portal, but the initiation still has not come. Cataclysm still pending. Cataclysm going to be fired here, and it's going to hit a lot. It's going to stop the charge forward, and oh my goodness, left side. Game Hunter's got himself a Phoenix.
And Sun Wukong already forced up in that ultimate very, very early. Everybody really turned on him. Phoenix is down now. First Phoenix of the game goes to Game Hunter, and Game Hunter alone. And the team fight, well, it doesn't rage on.
Yeah, big W. I mean, they lose the Fire Giant buff, so they're not going to get percentage HP regen. They'll lose about 50% HP on all of their characters, but they will find themselves their first Phoenix, and it is the most valuable Phoenix in the game. It's the one furthest from the Fire Giant. And once again, Myrmidons out-strategized for the second time this game. Do they lose sight of the Game Hunter, who finds big rewards over on the left side of the map?
Yeah, it's really been the experience and the veteranship of the Night's Watch that's winning them this game. I think the Myrmidons, for the majority of the game, Bart, played
Is that like veteran leadership?
Yes, the veteranship.
Veteranship, is that a word?
Yes.
Really?
It's better than, what did you say before? Irrespectively?
Irregardless?
No. You said something worse.
Irrespectful. Yeah, that, which is not a word. Let's be clear.
Veteranship.
Veteranship.
Veteranship. It's like a boat.
Yeah, it is. It's like I would take a cruise on the veteran ship.
Would you really?
It probably wouldn't sink.
I wouldn't take a cruise on the rookie ship.
No, exactly. Veteran ship, probably though.
Yeah.
Oh no. Jermaine, my friend.
Not quite gonna get that blue buff.
Yeah, no blue buff for you. Fire Giant started up now by Moex. Path of Flames is there. The damage coming through. The crits are big from Cirquet as well, helping to burst down that Fire Giant. And well, with Geb zoning, there's no contention here.
0.
Once again, Myrmidon's going to be pinned underneath their Phoenixes, trying to prevent the Night's Watch from breaking the base.
I mean, that's why we see on the left-hand side, that's why we talked about that Phoenix being so important.
What is Sio doing?
Team fight's important.
Sio, well, please. Sio all the way on the left side of the map as the Giannis obviously does have the repositioning ability there, but the team is going to get routed a bit here in the jungle. Oh! Nope. Okay. You did it right, Sio. I take it back everything.
Got it from the long range. The sniper rifle out of Sio is powerful, but it's powerful enough to stop the entire fight. Sio comes up, trades his sniper rifle for a shotgun, hits him in the face for the double kill, chasing down Wolf of Elo Street. The rollout is good. Moex going the opposite way, and it could be, Bart.
Is this a throw? This may be a throw. A minute remaining, 50 seconds minimum on Game Hunter, Bobat, Carreño, all 3 cores. It's just Moex is the only one with any kind of anti-clear. Oh no, I think they win.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Oh no, Myrmidons. They find their moment, they wait, they bide their time, and they get a great engagement. Even with Sio looking like he was out of position there, he finds 2 big-time kills. They're going to get Moex, they're going to kill Moex here, and yes, indeed, the Myrmidons, I think they take this one. They're going to pile right onto the base after this Phoenix. Their clear time is abysmal, as you can see there. They're having a really tough time getting this Phoenix down. They're trying to pick off the last few targets. 20 seconds remaining, Carreño, Bobat, Game Hunter can. They do it in time.
This is
Night's Watch, Titan under attack, 2 Phoenixes remaining. Got a lot of protection and HP. They still are fighting Wolf of Elo Street. Hit the Titan, boys. Hit the Titan, please. 6,000 HP remaining.
50%.
5 seconds for Carreño, down to 5,000, 3,000.
25%.
Oh, it's getting so low. Carreño going to be back up in time 10%. To throw one bomb. No, he will
1%.
Not. Indeed.
Toasted.
Les Myrmidons take game number 1 from the Night's Watch, and they